as people are being notified, for those watching in post on the tube of YouTube, if you will, this is a special day. This is a very special day. Today is January 19th, the day that we celebrate Jimothy the Ghost, not birthday. And yes, he is here. And I'm seeing people joining, I'm seeing my mods joining, thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's a bit why I am off center the way that I am, because he is over here with the respectful distance. I don't even know why I'm trying to like give him distance on my video, because he is not here. So and even now I don't want, I'm getting close to touching his arm and there's like this just sort of like so, thank you, ma'am. Cool. So yeah, this is Happy Jimothy's not birthday. You're getting highs. Oh, Edie's on. Caitlin, who I don't know if you know about, Welsh Mom is on. Hello, people who are joining right now. Thanks for joining. Yeah, we are celebrating a ghost not birthday. Paige, the goodest ghost boy. Happy unbirthday, Jimothy. Sing from Lid, if I'm saying that correctly. Yeah, the unbirthday. Yeah, so for anybody who's wondering, this came about when I think it was on a live back in 2021 where, oh, thank you, Donna. Oh, and thank you, ma'am. Okay, all the hearts and that kind of thing. I do that because it's a heart on the screen. You can see that. So it's been a while since I've gone live with like a spirit, so y'all really get to see me be like this and be like, who's over there? So yeah. So anyway, what I was mentioning, this happened on a live in 2021, and we were trying to figure out his birthday as well as Rupert's birthday, which is not about Rupert tonight. I did ask Rupert if we could do a live with him at a later date, so do check in on my page, and if you're not seeing my videos, please check back in. All these things are regularly talked about on my Patreon, for example, so if you really want to stay up to date, all members get updates on that. Except for, I think literally today's live was not posted on my Patreon, so apologies, Patreons. I hope you see this, but I trust you're gonna see it when you're meant to. Happy Friday. Anywho, I was under the impression that Jimothy's birthday was January 19th, okay? And the reason why this came about was getting dates can be kind of funny, because if they don't like pop into my mind claircognizantly, I have to kind of like feel out the surrounding and like kind of feel out the energy of a month and that kind of thing. It's not always as simple as you might think. And of course, at the time, I was nowhere near as advanced as I am now, as I was even just in 2021. So yeah, we were under the impression that Jimothy's birthday was January 19th. That seems to have gotten confused with his last mortal day on Earth, which is near the Battle of Fort Fisher, which is not too long ago. But anyway, we actually figured out on the live back in 2022, that was the January 19th live on 2022, that when we asked what Jimothy liked for his birthday, he was describing a berry pie. Berries, which come about in the summer. So since then, we have figured out Jimothy's actual birthday, which is June, I think. June 24th, I think. Don't quote me on that. Dates are weird. Okay, see, he's well into the afterlife at this point, because he's just sort of like, okay, wait, now I have to know. I didn't even look this up beforehand. I know, I didn't even look this up beforehand. See, I'm doing the same thing. Curious if anybody caught that. Let's see, move into June. I'm doing it quickly. Okay, was it 20? I'm gonna go through every day. I'm gonna go through every day in June. I'm gonna find it. It's not the 1st or the 2nd. Going through. It's not Jerusalem Day. Apparently I have that marked in my calendar. It's not, there we go, it's the 11th. I was off. I do not claim to get numbers right all the time. I talk more as a feeling-based thing. So if any of you are like, well, wait, can't you just hear him say that? It's not so simple. I oftentimes talk about having inner ear clairaudience, which, especially I'm on a live, there's like pressure, like I'm a human, that kind of thing. So cool. Oh, Caitlin, the 8th birthday week. Twins, yes, excellent. Gemini Club, yes. Gemini. Excellent. I love all the Geminis in the chat being like, yes. Okay. Question. Do ghosts from the past already know what TikTok, internet, etc. is, or do you have to explain it to them? Definitely have to explain it to them. What was it? Okay, let's ask this of Jimothy, since he is here, and he's been relatively patient. What did you think? Because, okay. I'm getting more of a download, so to explain my process a little bit, it's a lot of like inner eye clairvoyance. So oftentimes when I get something from him or other Fort bros, it's pictures of them at the beach. There are a lot of tourists around Fort Fisher at the beach, and so long as they're present and able to like see how time goes by, and it changes for each, depending on how present they are. Yeah, I'm seeing kind of like through the years how technology advanced. So the first night that I met Jimothy, there's a video called Seance at Fort Fisher, and that's deep in the archives of my tube of you. Was there any surprise with us like filming with phones and stuff? He said, no, but it was a surprise that we would give them rum. So that was a nice surprise. Onia said the candles were kind of weird. Yeah, we like lit some candles. I was out there with Sorsha. Anything else? He says, oh, we liked the rum. The rum was good. I gave you a donut. Do you remember that? I like took a donut out there one day. Oh, the other guys got to it. Yeah, oh well. That's for sure. It's like we bring offerings of Bojangles. Bojangles chicken and like donuts and that kind of thing. So nice to normalize talking with spirits and guides. Yeah, I think if we take this from more of a grounded approach, it can be more acceptable in society. This is why if I ever get to a place where I'm just like, and the ghost said the man, like, please, mod, stop me. Because that's very ungrounded to me. Yeah, so fried chicken and whiskey. Yup. How does giving ghosts food work from Nightingale Zero? Okay, how does that work? We eat it. Let me explain that. Okay, so essentially when a spirit absorbs like food or drink, it truly is that. It's the energy associated with the life of the food. So I have some videos out from Fort Fisher where I take them Bojangles, and then within a short amount of time that the color loses its luster. One of the lives that I went out there for Jimothy's actual birthday, which unfortunately because of cell reception, it's hardly even there. I don't even think I reposted it because the cell reception was so bad. But I had sweet tea. And I told the guys, I think it was a new guy that didn't hear, or new guy, like, who came out. I don't think he heard my request, either that or he just didn't honor that. I was like, look, you guys have the fries. There's some biscuits in there. There's chicken. You have it. Leave me my sweet tea. Some guy came and he drank it, and it was on the live. Once again, I don't know if the cut made it because of the reception, but I drank the tea and I made a face and I nearly spit it out because it tasted disgusting. So yeah, Bojangles is a great litmus test, I think, because there's always a lot of flavor with any Bojangles. Maybe I'm biased, but like, yeah. Okay, he also says there's a lot of flavor with Bojangles. Thank you for agreeing. Yeah, Caitlin, I wanted to cry too because I was really thirsty and I really wanted that sweet tea. So, yeah, it loses its luster. Here's the thing with spirit, sometimes it happens with ghosts. Some different traditions will have like altars where they set food out, and after X amount of time you can pretty much see after the spirit has come by to absorb the energy from it. So for the spirits, I don't think they have to overthink it so much, so long as they don't overthink it. Sometimes with a spirit that is newly on the spirit side, they don't overthink it because they're just like, oh great. But if they do know like they are past, sometimes they overthink it and they're just like, but my hand will go through and that kind of thing. So it's like grabbing the energy rather than like focusing on grabbing the thing. So good question. let's see. I'd love to focus on questions for Jimothy. I do general lives of like Q&As, and I also have a lot of those lives posted on the Tube of You. So if I don't get to your question on this live, it's because it wasn't about Jimothy. So y'all, what questions do you have for Jimothy? I know I don't post a lot of skits about my ghost fam anymore. That is by design, that is specific, because I want to let them have a private life. So yeah, with that in mind, oh, great question from Ma'am. I looked and it was right there. Asking you, okay, what does your log cabin look like? Wraparound porch, question mark, view, question mark. All right, so he says, nicest cabin I ever had. Great view, the best view. Lots of woods, good fishing. Good stream nearby, just enough light, not too much, not so muggy as it is here. Okay, what else does it look like? Front porch, some good chairs on the porch. Rocking chair for my lady, that's what he says. Inside is warm, good fireplace, good hearth. Warm, nice. Okay, there was a moment where he was like, can't have guests, but don't want too many guests. Have a nice, happy life. That kind of thing. Anything else you want to say? He says, it's a fine house. Do you have like actual windows? Of course we do. Okay. Gotta keep in the heat, okay. Are they like clear windows, like modern windows, or like do they have that kind of textured window look, like what you see with older windows? He says they're good and thick. A bit of texture. House a bit old for modern standards, but it fits us right. Yeah, okay. Cool, good question. Yeah, for anybody who is wondering, for anybody who's wondering, basically spirits can have space in like a spirit plane. The planes will differ depending on like where they are, but where he and Fanny reside now, yeah, it's kind of like in an in-between sort of plane. So it's a nice little, just, I'd say retirement place, but they both have things that they're doing too. Some spirits like to be busy, some spirits like to take on stuff. So that's cool. Oh, thank you for the heart. For anybody, I saw a comment, I'm not reading past loved ones on a live in front of literally 220 people. That's, I think, very inconsiderate, because anybody could come through and decide that they want to tell me things that I don't think are appropriate to share with an entire live. By no means do you have to believe anything that I'm doing. I am not here to try and convince you that what I'm doing is real and I'm real. It is a personal decision on whether or not you decide what resonates with you. So if psychic mediumship doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. For everybody else, I hope you're here to have fun, because we're talking to a ghost from the 1800s. That's it. Though for anybody who is looking to reach out to past loved, oh my goodness, thank you for that. That's so pretty. For anybody who is interested in reaching out to past loved ones, thank you, Emma. I am not the past loved one reader on my team. Please check out Catherine. Catherine is the past loved one reader on the team, and wow, phenomenal. So yeah. Anywho, okay, you're getting lots of love. Oh, hey, Emily. I can't wait to see you in less than a week for the Sacred Spaces Conference. Oh, I was gonna ask you, did you want to come to Richmond with us? It's like, be with a bunch of you weirdos talking to us? No. I love that. General, it's so funny. I think some people think that like spirits are on the other side and they're just like, we want to be seen, but then there's some spirits like this one that's like, I don't want to be seen by all y'all like, all at once. Anyway, for anybody who's still interested, Sacred Spaces Conference or Sacred Spaces Gathering is happening in Richmond, Virginia. in a week. We still have some general admission tickets available. This is a place for grounded spiritual practice. We've got a bunch of different readers that are coming there. We have we have life coaches and therapists and other, we have a paranormal investigator. Catherine's going to be there, who's going to be talking about paranormal investigation and how that and mediumship can work together. I'm going to be talking about reclaiming mediumship. That means more than just talking to past loved ones. It means so many other things, but also talking about my journey in reclaiming who I am in a supportive way to all of you so that you can learn as well. So yeah, Emily's going to be there. Liker of Words is going to be there. Crystalline is going to be there. I am so excited. We've been planning almost a year for this conference, and it's going to be small. There are only going to be tops 150 people there. That's intentional. We want people to meet one another. January can be a very lonely month, so we wanted to combat that by offering a gathering. And if you're worried about the weather, last time we checked, it's going to be in the mid-60s in Richmond, Virginia in a week. So if you can get there, we're gonna have a good time. If you want more information on that, please go to sacredspacesgathering.com. All the information is there as far as like who we're working with and all that stuff. But I know so many of you who are already coming. We are just so excited to be with you in the same place at the same time. We also have virtual tickets available as well if that's a bit too much of a stretch for you in a week. So yeah, hope to see y'all out there. Oh, a great question from is that Esmeralda with like a duh at the end? Does Jimothy vibe as a millennial or boomer? Okay, so you understand what I'm saying with that? Okay, so I'm a millennial, and then boomers would be like elderly basically, but the slang term with that is to say that boomers on a general, like, it's a slang term for like closed-minded old people, generally speaking, but like also millennials have their own general sorts of things that are said. I love that. He's like, I want to be old. Okay, why do you want to be old? So I can tell everybody what to do. Okay, so let's go with your old. What would you tell everybody to do? What would you tell all 180 or 90 people what to do? What would you tell them right now? He says to go and have a good time. Doing what? He says, well, I like to fish, but not everybody should fish because I wouldn't get any fish. Okay. What else should they do? Eat pie. Oh, he says, marry a nice girl. Anything else? Any other sage advice for people? So that? No, I don't know what they want to do with their lives. That was a great question. I really appreciated that. Also, thank you, Michaela. I see the gifts. Oh, that was a cool gift. Did you see that? He's like, there? Yeah. Oh, that's great. Okay, we have people in the chat. If I'm saying Lid Klein, you married a nice man, I'm happy for you. Dreamweaver, has Jimothy thought about the next incarnation? What would you say about that? It's like, next incar what? As in, if you were to be another person, like actually regenerate or enter back into the physical space. He said, y'all sure did make a mess of things. I don't know if I want to come back. Oh no. Coming from a ghost from the Civil War, guys. Okay, so you're cool with where things are. He's like, yeah, I got Fanny. Okay. Well, have you thought about where you want to go next? Nah. Okay, he says, I've been dead a long time, stuck at the fort. Now I'm out and about. I get to do things and I get to see stuff. Well, I don't want to change that. I think that's fair. So I think the answer to that question is yes, not. Another person asked if you believe in reincarnation. He was like, yeah, look at you. Do you believe my story of everything, you know, like the past life regressions that I've done, how I read past lives? Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. Now, you did know that I read people's past lives, but for a long time, like when he was around more, it was primarily focused on, like if a guide lived in a past life with the client that I was talking to. But now I actually have like a full reading, like it's a 90-minute reading, where I meet a guide and I work with the guide to find different lives. And we do like it's called a soul journey, or soul journey review or something like that. Soul journey something. Soul journey reading, that's what it is. Where I look into various lives of a person and how they line up with what the person is going through in the present. I had one of those today. It was super, super cool. I love when things, like, I love when I just look at somebody, I'm like, cool, let's do this. And I get into things and I'm like, I didn't know you're into that. I didn't know you're into that. I didn't know you like that. I didn't know that would resonate. Da, 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 da. So it's always a lot of fun. I could do that for you. For your birthday. I could just do that for you in general. Wait, like right now? He's like sitting back, he's like, yeah, I want to see what you got. I was like, okay. So one thing to keep in mind with a ghost, essentially, and now granted he's not your typical ghost now because he's been working a lot on himself and he's got a lot of sense of self, so it's not like he's like stuck at one place or like he's reliving something every day or something like that. So essentially what I have to do with him is I have to connect to his line and then connect to like where more part of his soul is somewhere. If you're curious about what I'm talking about, check out some of the lives that I reposted about like pieces of a soul, that kind of thing. I also have a course on it on my Patreon, but cool. I typically don't do reads online. I love it. He's like, it's my birthday. Okay, fine. Give me a moment, everybody. Thank you for the gift. I guess I'm channeling a little bit here. Oh great, he's like, you can do it. Okay. So I kind of have to go over to the life. I've never actually connected with your, like the fuller part of your soul. I love his confidence. He's just like, I bet he looks great. It is a guy from what I'm seeing. Okay, so a past life. Okay, okay, so already I'm seeing a, they're not too high of britches, but they're a little bit lower. I'm reminded of like maybe the late 1700s, early 1800s, because like the pants actually go down to the knee. I think I'm seeing from your perspective, yeah, there's a little bit of a button right to the side, so it implies high socks. Yeah, high socks. But where you are right now, you're not wearing socks. You are, oh, you're, looks like you're in a creek. You're fishing. I guess fishing goes in your various lives. It's a long, not like super long, but it's a single piece of wood and looks like thread as a fishing string. Yeah, I know that wouldn't be very strong. I guess if it's what you got, okay. Yeah, you're in a stream. It looks like summertime. Guy, as I mentioned in that life too. Oh, this is before the revolution and the Americas came out. Because it's like, I think maybe like a brother figure like coming home. He's holding papers and he's talking about there being issues in town. Yeah, you're living with your mom and your dad, farmer. You have, looks like 2 younger sisters, and your mom might have a baby. So there are a lot of kids over almost like a, not quite a 20-year span, but maybe like a 15-year span. This feels up north. Vermont comes to mind. Modern day Vermont. Closer to the coast. Typically in a past life reading, I go into like, what's the bigger picture here? One, to have perspective of living up north, because in this life you lived in the south, and 2, to have a full family And it sounds like you were kept from going off to war. You didn't have to fight. You got to stay home. You chose to stay home, which I know is very different from this life because he was drafted in this life. So yeah, showing some differences. Cool. Pulling it back in. I've never actually done that like on a live, and now I'm not entirely sure where it is. I'd have to look at a map to get a better idea. Wouldn't Jimothy know about his past lives as a spirit? Would you? Absolutely not. That's what it is. So, okay, he hasn't ghosts, right? I feel like the aliens guy. Aliens, more ghosts. Ghosts are pieces that are often left behind from a soul. So he may have a part of his soul that is reincarnate right now. And basically what happens is he had a, I'm going to say a tragic death. He's like, so tragic. A battle, and it was sad, and you were, not an old man. Like, you didn't get to live most of your life. So that imprint of when he passed and the tragedy that befell him, that imprint is what made his ghost. The rest of his soul moved on. So that's why oftentimes with ghosts, they may not remember everything. They may not have all the answers. They may not know where they are. They may actually like repeat different days of their life or repeat their mindset. It's kind of like until that spirit comes to terms with whatever they're overcoming. And it doesn't always have to be doom and gloom, but sometimes it can be like an attachment to something or people or places or something like that. Until they come over that, they oftentimes get stuck. So, here's the thing with Jimothy, for example, he and a lot of the spirits out here, because there's like a whole gossip chain out here in Wilmington, which is actually really cool. But the ghosts are kind of helping each other wake up. And so that gives them choice. Basically, when we have free will, we get to decide, do we want to stay here? Do we want to leave? When we come to terms with our own like mental health and where we are here, and we're allowed to like be in our present, we get to decide, do we want to join up with the larger part of our soul somewhere else, or do we want to stay here? So as mentioned before, Jimothy is staying in kind of spirit space as he is with Fanny. And that's a choice. Fanny has that choice too. At any time, they can join up with a higher soul. Or another thing that I do, and I've made some videos on this, it's psychopomp work, which by the way, thank you for that. I'm hosting I'm hosting a workshop at the conference called Ghost in Trouble, How to Help. That is what I named it. I thought it was cute. Anyway, so the whole purpose of it is sometimes you'll find a spirit that doesn't want to grow here, or they don't have anything else to grow. So like when you find them and they're very concerned, or they keep kind of like a shock reflex or something like that, there are ways to get them to a place to calm down enough. And some of that is using human psychology, the same thing you would do if you were working with a friend through like if they were having a moment of shock or PTSD or something like that, how to get them to the present to just kind of calm down a little bit. We can do that with spirits as well. The thing is, though, if they are ready to be moved on, in a sense, for ghosts, often what I'll do is I will find a point in the time where they existed, where they weren't feeling terrible, and I do some time travel sorts of things, merge them with that larger piece of the soul, and then they can move on. That's a very short way to describe it. I will be going into far more detail in the 45-minute workshop in Richmond in a week. It's a week and a day I'll be hosting that workshop. So, yeah, that's a good question though. I think I have heard some jargon online that when people pass over, they just have knowledge of everything. I've yet to find that with anybody that I've talked to on this side or the next. That is my humble experience. That is my personal experience. I know some people will say differently, though I also know some mediums actually connect with the higher self of somebody rather than the individual self that was most recently here on Earth. I am not here to add conflict to the psychic medium world. I do want to find answers, because just because somebody is getting a different answer from me, that might just mean that they're channeling something different. So rather than drive us apart, oh, thank you, Tina. Oh my goodness, that was a swan. That was so cool. Anywho, rather than cause a rift between more of our community, I think it's more important to figure out how we can work together and work in spirit by having better understanding of what we are connecting with specifically, rather than going at each other and tearing each other apart. Which a lot of that, unfortunately, is people just wanting to make bookings, which I understand that because I also take bookings, but I don't think it's necessary for me to try to rip anybody down just to make bookings. That's not why I'm here. Part of what I do in consultations is I want to build people up so they can connect on their own to their own folks. I never want to be between somebody and their folks because that's not my place to be. I simply want to provide tools for them to be able to do that for themselves. And if you're interested in doing that, like, very soon, if you want to like take that dive on Pluto and Aquarius happening tomorrow and really get into the Aquarius season of trusting your own abilities and learning how to trust your own intuition, I would recommend my Patreon courses. They start at $10 a month. You can get instant access to 140 hours of course material. So if you want to binge that this weekend, be my guest. And then if you want to keep being a Patreon each month, I put out a new course each month. Ooh, thanks, Blizzard Pearl. I responded to you. You know what I'm talking about after the consult. That made me very excited. Oh, question from Auto Pyro. Ask him what it's like to see things progress through the years. He says, it's all right. Okay. How is it all right? He said the boxes keep getting smaller. I think he's talking about phones. Phones! Yeah, okay. What else? Okay, he said the people keep getting bigger. I don't think that's entirely having to do with our kind of weight. And I also don't get the indication that he's saying that's like bad or, you know, that sort of thing. I think scientifically that is happening. People are also getting taller and they're also getting more muscular. So let's just say bigger means a very broad term. He's like, sure. It's like, okay. He also said the swimsuits are getting smaller again. Cool. That's Fort Fisher for you. So yeah. Oh, from Vesta, Jimothy, have you watched any movies with Fanny? He's like, we ain't got a TV. Have you ever thought about getting a TV? Has Fanny thought about getting a TV? He's like, we don't want to, that complicates things. Okay, how does that complicate things? Well, then you got a distraction. Takes you away from the moment. Takes you away. I love that though. What about like watching movies here? Like, do you ever come here? Maybe walk downtown or something? He's like, oh, downtown's loud. Now that we don't have to be down there, we won't go down there. Okay. That's totally fair. I get it. Maybe, next movie day at the house. He's like, if you won't. Okay, yeah. I mean, why not? It'd be fun. It'd be a fun day. He's like, if you won't. Cool. Oh, great question from Christina. Jimothy, what's your favorite thing to do with Fanny? Jimothy. Can you pick something else, please? He said, well, walks. Outside, in the sun. I say pretty things to her. And she smiles. Okay, anyway. I'm gonna do a better job at filtering what I'm getting. That's all that I'm saying. In consultations, I just channel talk. So as soon as I get it, I just boom, 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 boom. I cannot say everything. So anyway, great question. He just said something. I mean, it wasn't inappropriate, but it was just, I don't think that needs to be said on live. It's something we could talk about as friends, but that's all I'm gonna say. Oh, you just moved back to Wilmington. Welcome back. Totally different energy. Love it here. Yeah. Do you ever see your family? He says occasionally his brother, his half-brother, who was also at the fort with him, his half-brother also works for, I'll just leave it at that. His half-brother works. I don't talk about him much on here. I never put him into the skits out of respect for him. He was never interested in being involved on all this stuff. So anybody else? He says Ma's moved on. Pa's moved on. So I think what he's talking about too, they could have reincarnated by now. Though where he sits on the spirit plane is not an afterlife plane. So it's possible that they have kind of moved into an afterlife. Like, would you see them again if you could? He says, he's like, yeah, but they moved on. Don't want to take them back to that life. Oh, he said, if we're meant to see each other again, we will. Cool. Good question. Oh, I want to know, how's Mira doing? He said, let dog's asleep. So Mira is at the cabin. For those of you who don't know, my dog Mira, who passed almost 2 years ago, has been taken care of by Jimothy and Fanny. So, and if you happen to follow the Ghost Kids playlist, she was nicknamed Pork Chop at the fort when they would go visit there. I have not forgotten that. I'm under the impression that Fanny still calls her Mira. So cool. She's just got multiple names. Excellent. But yeah, I just got this image of Mira asleep on the floor of this cabin, which tracks. She slept most of the time. What a life. Jimothy, can you travel to other places in real time? From Chandra or Chandra. Can you do that? It's like, if I wanted to. Do you oftentimes come to like this plane to like move around? Not so much anymore. Yeah, he's saying there's a lot of energy, and that tracks to energy shifts that have been happening here on this plane, that kind of thing. He's saying he likes the quiet life. He's like, I like my quiet life. And the things that he has to do aren't really on this plane anymore. So yeah, cool. Good question. You're still getting happy birthdays from somebody named Beach. I love that. Busy Walker, happy birthday, Jimothy. Happy birthday, Jimothy from Rin. Happily partnered boys from Jenna. Oh, great question. Swan Queen, what's his best fishing story? Okay. Weigh in. Do you want me to try to speak the words that he's saying to me, or should I describe the imagery that I am receiving? And until I get the answers from the chat, I'll tell you keep getting happy birthdays. So Mystical Magical Creature says happy birthday. Michaela says happy birthday, Jimothy. Also yours, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Excellent, cool. Okay, happy birthday from Rose, happy birthday from Becky. Okay, Ma'am is voting first person. Let's see. Oh, Jimothy would be 178 if he were alive today. Okay, his words. Okay, cool. So bear with me, because once again, I am growing my clairaudience. Most of this is coming through inner ear clairaudience, and Jimothy and I have a long-standing connection with one another, so it's a bit easier for me to do than with some other folks. So yeah, all right, best fishing story, let's go. Oh, I saw 2. Okay, so you get 2. All right. Was this on Deep River? Okay. P.S. Anybody who is on my YouTube, you're going to start getting Jamestown episodes where we talk about Deep River. Jimothy's not on that one, but I talk about Deep River, which he's connected to me through Deep River, and like that's a cool thing. Patreon's already got that pre-release. They have an hour that's already been pre-released over the last 2 months. But anyway, so the first one, all right, here we go. So he says, I was small. I was itty. Not itty bitty, just itty. Anyway, he says, I was small. And there is this big fish. Really? Okay, sorry, I just got chided. He was just like, tell the story. Okay, anyway. Mama was making chicken. And so I took a little bit off while it was still out. Wasn't ready for dinner yet. Or did you make it that morning? Okay, he's like, made it that morning. Breakfast. Took the chicken, took a piece, put it on the fishing hook, ran down to the creek. So not the river? Creek was near the river. Okay. Ran down to the river. I figured them fish might like some chicken. Put that in there. Water was slow that day, real murky. Fish sometimes might get confused, get closer to the surface. I think they saw that chicken. Got a big old bass. All right, so big bass, hooked on the line. Big as me, really? Big as me. Bass as big as me. I was small, I was 5. Bass as big as me, pulled that out. Gave it a good wrestle. Thing didn't want to go, but I had a duty. I needed to go. I needed to take it for dinner. It was for my mama. I'm feeding the family. Being a man. Really? Being a man. So a bass as big as you. Big as me is 5. All right. So a bass as big as him as a 5-year-old. Sorry, I'll stop laughing. Anyway, so you got a bass as big as you. Okay. Carried a big old bass. Nobody believed me. Thought it might eat me instead. Had to put it on a wagon wheel or something. A wheelbarrow. Yeah, got to put it on a wheelbarrow. That was me. I forgot the word wheelbarrow. Put it on a wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrow's bigger than me. Wow, you must be the strongest 5-year-old. I was. All right, so you put on the wheelbarrow. Okay, got it. Nobody believed that I could do that. But I came up. It's like a field. It's like I came up the field, my big old bass and a wheelbarrow. And everybody celebrated me for the rest of the week. I fed the whole family for the rest of the week. I even fed the dogs. Okay. Basically, I'm a hero. You are, Jimothy. You are a hero. A bass the size of a 5-year-old. Absolutely. I don't believe you, no. He said, well, you should, because it's my laugh. All right, Christina says that you're the hero. He's the best. A great story. Thank you. Those bass get big. Thank you, Fancy. Thank you for being on board with this. You love Montana. From Paige, Storytime with Jimothy is my new favorite thing. Great son he is from Swan Queen. I guess he can't disprove it. Yeah, I guess we can't disprove it, can we? No, that's absolutely true. Like, we're like... Do dogs like bass? Dogs can't tell the difference. Oh my goodness. Char Davis, have you send me a if you go to my website, I have a contact form for the place on Princess Street. Please send me a contact form, because I'm a very like visual kind of person. The contact form will go to my assistant, but she can send it over to me. So yeah, if anybody in Wilmington wants paranormal investigation or has some ghosty stuff that they want looked into, I have a paranormal investigation team. The main thing that we did recently was we went to Hell's Kitchen. So if you want to check out that paranormal investigation, it is all up on YouTube. So that's part of that. But yeah, other Wilmingtonians, if you've got things that you want us to look into, I can see if you have enough for an investigation. But if it's just a single spirit that needs to go, I can look into that as well. So yeah, that's just for Wilmington. If you live farther out, if you want to cover our costs to get to where you are, including room and board, we can talk about that. Contact form is on my website. And remember, I don't go to places alone. I go with at least one member of my team, if not both of them, because safety. You had another fish story at Fort Fisher. Okay, let me catch up in the comments real quick. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Troy Davis. Yeah, if you contact forms on my website. Do you have any meetups in Wilmington? Totally want to go if you do. I might. I'm going through the conference first. I'm gonna learn what I can from that, and I think if I am to do a meetup in Wilmington, it's probably gonna be probably won't be a whole conference, but it might be like a workshop series in person, with like some tours sprinkled in. So yeah, if you want to be notified of that and you don't want to lose me on the interwebs, I do have a newsletter. I don't send out a lot of newsletters, so be sure that you can receive those. The newsletters will be coming from info at Raleigh, that was a different account. That was a different life. Info at RebekahTheGhostGuide.com. That's where the newsletters come from. So yeah, if you don't want to lose touch with me, either follow my newsletter or you can actually become a free member on my Patreon as well. There aren't as many perks for free members, but you will be notified for when I post lives and when I'm doing cool events and that kind of thing. So yeah, Hell's Kitchen. Yeah, check out the paranormal investigation at Hell's Kitchen. I don't, Christina, I don't know if you can come to Wilmington and do a paranormal investigation. If you make contacts with people and you want to do a paranormal investigation somewhere in Wilmington, I don't see why you couldn't. So, okay. If the conference goes well, yeah, we will do another. It's gone beautifully. I'm co-hosting it and co-planning it with Emily and Crystal Lynn. They've been absolutely wonderful to work with. Everybody that we've been talking to, from vendors to readers to speakers to workshop hosts, everybody's just been so wonderful. Everything is coming together so well. I feel so good about it. It's one of the best things that I felt about in a really long time as far as like in-person gatherings. So yeah, I'm foreseeing that we're going to be doing this in the future, but the first one is in a week. So if you haven't already got your tickets, I hope you will consider doing so. If you feel the pull and you have the availability to do it, come out and see us. That'll be in Richmond, Virginia. We also have virtual tickets as well, though if you can come and meet us, why not? So let's see. You had a fishing story. Have not forgotten about the fishing story. This one I saw was out near Fort Fisher. So, in March, yeah, sorry, I just saw USS North Carolina Battleship will be having a paranormal investigation. Yeah, they do, I don't know if they do regular investigations, but they do at least one annually. They're a bit expensive for my taste. But I also often don't pay to do paranormal investigations. I either get invited to go or I film them to collaborate with small businesses in order to help their business. As a medium, I will go and do things, but I don't often pay for paranormal investigations because I often go to these haunted spots to work, as in like helping spirits and making sure that they're comfortable where they are and that they feel seen and heard. It's not really for my leisure. It's not really for like, woo, fun activity, da da da. Like, it is fun for me, but it's not like paranormal tourism for me. So all that to say, most people don't live the life that I live. So if you're into paranormal investigations and you're respectful to spirits, have at it, go for it. They can be very exciting, and certainly when they give you a bunch of tech and you have rain of the battleship at night, like, that would be cool to do. But yeah, anywho, doop-a-doo. So excited for the conference, yay! Yeah, okay. There's a lot of activity on the ship. I did a reenactment skit for some guys that I met on the ship, and that was actually, Ma'am came out and visited, and she was with me in that one. So she was the friend in that video. But, okay, you want to tell your story? Oh, he's like, well, if people want to listen to it. All right, do you want to hear Jimothy's other fishing story? I will tell it in first person to the best of my ability again. Yes, okay, cool, yeah, yes, okay, cool. Just wanted to be sure, because he didn't want to put in the energy if y'all didn't want to hear what he had to say. Of course, perfect. See, they want to hear it. We just got off topic a little bit. So, let's see. Okay. Once again, this will be from his first person. I will not butt in and ask all the questions of, is this true? Are you sure? Da, 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 da. I will just let him tell it to you, and you can take it for whatever value you want. He's like, I always tell the truth. I'm sure you do. All right. He says, I was new out at Fort Fisher. Nobody knew who I was, except for the regiment who I came with. I had to make a good impression. Now, a lot of boys were hungry, because they were always hungry. Everybody was hungry out there. There was nothing else to do but to eat and build. I took upon myself to go out to the river and fish. Now there, fish are different. They're bigger. Some of them be from the ocean, but most of them from the river. Ocean fish get too big, so I got me a river fish, and it was big. Sorry, I'm having a moment where I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Anyway, I don't know the fish. I don't know fish here. Like, I'm not a fisher, so I'll just tell it. Okay, so he says, this fish was so big. It was a 3-footer. It had a nose. And spikes. I'm gonna look into the ether. I wonder if that's a real fish. Okay. Thank you, ether. That's all I'm gonna say. So, anyway, okay. So, ether, is that a gar? Okay, thank you, ether. Anyway, so, okay. Yeah, okay, got it. It was a 3-foot fish with spikes. It could have eaten me. Could have eaten you. It could have eaten me. But I said no. I had to save the fort. What? He's just like, it's my story. Oh, hey, kid. Like the spiky teeth. I had to save the fort. Because men were dying. Are you serious, right? Okay, sorry, I'm being told to shut up. I had to save the fort from starvation. And make a good impression, that's right. I'm talking to him a little bit here. So I got the fish. And I roped it up. And I took it into the fort. And these men, they were so hungry you thought they would have eaten it raw. And I said, no. Can't be eating fish raw out here. They're too salty. They're too salty. Gotta fry it up first. Did you fry it? No, but we cooked it right. Had to be prepared all good. Did you prepare it? Did you prepare it? It's like, well, did you send it to somebody? What? I don't know where this story is going. He's like, well, I don't know what happened to the fish. What do you mean you don't know what happened to the fish? The ether is speaking to me again. Okay. So you got in the fish, and then what happened? How did you lose the fish? I looked and it was gone. Where did it go? It was gone. How long did you leave the fish? Okay, now is where we get it. Well, you see, I got distracted. What did you get distracted with? Well, you know, things men do get distracted. What were you doing? It doesn't matter. Okay, fine. So you got distracted, you looked away, and what, the fish was gone? Yeah. And somebody else said that it was his. Are you telling me right now that somebody got this fish? Did you actually get this fish? He says, I'm telling you, I looked away and it was gone. But you definitely got the fish. You got the fish out of the river yourself. Definitely what you did. Well, yeah. Is there anything else to that story? You're kidding me right now. You're kidding me. Are you citing that in this chat? Cool. Well, I imagine if he's not here, he can't say otherwise, right? Jimothy was like, well, Arnold was there. He saw it. He knows. That's right. Arnold is, Arnold is not here to say otherwise. Should we have him here? Should I call him here on this day? The ether votes yes. I don't know if you can feel this. I don't know if you tapped into this, because there was just this sort of like, I don't think he needs to come. Yeah, he's busy. He's doing stuff. He's a busy man. I wouldn't want to bring him here. That's not what we need to do. But are we sure? Because, you know, I wonder if Arnold would, one, remember it. He's like, of course I don't remember it. I'm trying to read ether messages. Should I give a shout out to the Boo Crew right now? So anyway, if you know, you know. So Boo Crew knows who Greg the Ghost is. I have ether. That's all we're gonna say. So, oh, great. Ether says that Arnold would be happy to come and talk. Do we want Arnold to show up? This is getting more. Hi, Rebecca. You just joined in on a fun time. Greg and Ether are besties. Yeah, I would say so. Pop-Tarts for Greg forever. Yes. Yeah, it does seem like Arnold is going to show up. No, I don't think you should be able to leave for this one. I don't think you should be able to leave. I mean, I'm not gonna hold you here. What if we just ask Arnold what's the biggest fish he ever saw at Fort Fisher and see if it lines up? He's really like, I don't want Arnold to come. For anybody new on this information, Arnold and him knew each other at Fort Fisher. If you want to know more about Arnold, follow Officially Catherine. Oh yeah, that's right. Lindsay says you can't leave. It's your unbirthday. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, finding loopholes to confirm the story. I like it. Yeah, we're just trying to figure out more about the story. Yeah, so I was like, don't embarrass me in front of the interwebs. You're still getting happy birthdays. Catherine is awesome. I do agree. And a very unhappy birthday. I'll just phone Arnold real quick. I literally just felt on my arm. Like, I wonder if y'all saw it. Like my arm went a little bit. Oh, now he's saying I can't do that because it's his unbirthday. I can't call Arnold because it's his unbirthday. Okay. Ether has feelings on this. Cool. Oof, gotcha there. It's true. It's true. I asked him to come on this live for all of you. Aw, Arnold's not on the guest list. How sad. What's up that Arnold's not on the guest list? He called Arnold on his unbirthday. Ether may or may not actually be a person. And if you know me on personal social medias, you may be able to put two and two together. That's all I'm saying. Ether provided me another message. I hope you can tell the difference between me reading a message and looking at rather than like spirit, but you know, the context. Oh my goodness. So, I'm gonna ping this to you. They're making trades essentially. Well, do you want that to happen or not? Yeah? Alright. Cool. Trades a little bit. Can I say a little bit or what? How you and Arnold know each other right now? Your present relationship? So this is happening before Arnold is invited here. But he was just like, sometimes Arnold can't do everything. Sometimes he needs a little help. Keep going. Oh, he's like, I don't want to talk now. He's like, he's listening. Yeah, he is. What, can he just like come in now? Is that cool? Because, you know, he is already listening. This is like, this is a thing. Okay. Because I kind of pinged him already, so here we are. Oh, hey, Matt. Alright, Arnold. Hello. It's good to see you. Arnold, Jimothy, do you want to tell this story to Arnold? Jimmy's like, oh, you already knows the story. Okay, what story? Cool, I'm doing for both right now. The biggest fish at Fort Fisher. Was there a whale at Fort Fisher? Or something like that. Maybe it was a dolphin or something. He said, not that one. That one was dead. Okay. So something may have washed up on the beach. Okay. Arnold's over here like, all right. Tell the story, Jimothy. Tell the same story that you have told this whole life of like over 200 people. Tell the same story to Arnold that you told to me. Okay, he just said, well, there was a fish and I lost him. A 3-foot fish. It was a fish and I lost him. But a 3-foot fish. And you were talking about how the men were so hungry and you wanted to feed everybody because you're so good at what you do. He's just like, well, yeah. With the spikes, that's right. With the spikes. Oh, he knows what gar are. Okay. He said, you mean a gar? It's weird to flip between Southern accents and technically my Southern accent. Because like Arnold has like a lower voice. You see it on the reenactments. I do to the best of my ability. It's more of a Georgia, but okay. okay, so Arnold was just like, so you're telling me, can I do an impression of Arnold on the spot? So you telling me, sorry, it's weird doing it in front of you. This is why I do my reenactments in a closet, because I'm like, please don't look at me, anybody. So, yeah, okay. He's like, so you're telling me that that you caught a 3-foot fish. I'm doing a terrible accent. You know, I'm throwing the accents out right now because it's hard to focus. He says, okay, you're telling me that you caught a 3-foot fish in order to feed the men. Yeah. That's not what I remember. Maybe you're not remembering right. It's been a long time. That's not what I remember. Well, I remember it differently. Okay, Jimothy. If that's what you remember, that's not what I remember. He just said another name. He's like, wasn't that so-and-so that caught that fish? Stole that fish, more like it. No, I saw him get it out of the water. Why were you watching him in the water? I wasn't watching him. So maybe you remembered it wrong. Everybody knew he caught that fish. No, he didn't. Oh my God. Maybe you guys should step outside. Arnold's like, we can step outside. Oh, he's good. He's like, yeah, I'm good. How's your unbirthday going, Jimothy? He says, different from what he expected. Oh, here we go. From Hannah, or Hammond. I'm saying that right, Hammond. Maybe he caught it. It flopped back in the water, and then the other dude caught it. There we go. Everybody can be right. He says he likes that story. He's like, I like that version. Okay. I did not make cake this time around. Part of that is, and he did ask that too when he first got here. That's on me. Part of it is I'm in the process of moving right now. So there's like a lot of stuff going on. Plus there's the conference happening. So I've been kind of frazzled. He just said, she ain't no good when she's frazzled. People love celebrating with you. Also, thanks Arnold for coming to attendance. He says, happy to help. See, was that worth it? Trades. You know, Jimothy was saying that he helps you with work. He said, I reckon that's right. Also, I'm still getting pulls here on, it's like, this people say, thank you, Arnold. Yes. Oh my goodness. So cool, we can all agree that Jimothy helps with work. Helps one word to say. Okay, cool. Hi people who are joining, excellent. Yeah, I'm just gonna go through things. Oh, Dreamweaver, more about the trades. Well, as was said, Jimothy helps Arnold out to do tasks, like feels messenger-y, but I'm not told everything that's happening. And it's Jimothy's birthday, so I only want to say good things about him. I'm just saying maybe he had something to do. Maybe he had something to do, and yeah, for Arnold to be here, he will have an extended deadline for that. That's what I think I can say. Okay, cool. Well, I got Arnold's approval on that one. I was like, you say that. So yeah. Well, on that note, I believe it is time. Now the reason for, there's another live that is going to be happening in a little bit. So all 200 of you, if you want to pop on another live roughly in 30 minutes, check out officially Catherine's live. They are going to a place to do a paranormal investigation. And this is the second time they're doing that paranormal investigation. And I am going to be popping off so that they can do that and I can tune in from time to time on that. I might actually get a chance to do a reading at that same location. So if I'm not on for long, it's because I'm not wanting to prime myself before going to that location to make reads myself. But in the event that I feel like I ought to be able to watch, I'm going to be popping away to do that. Officially _Catherine, if you don't already follow them, I follow them and I do some videos with them. They're part of my paranormal investigation team, as well as a part of my readers team. So yeah, they're doing an investigation tonight. I hope all of you will attend. I am aware of the investigation that happened on Wednesday at the same location and that a lot of stuff was going on. So yeah, enjoy that and like the creepy stuff. I'm excited to get into that area myself. So yeah, the live is going to be on TikTok. And yeah, a bunch of people tagging Catherine here. Cool. So anywho, last thing to say is thanks for coming. He was like, well, be embarrassed. Okay, but did all of you love his stories? I think, yeah. Thanks for the amazing live to all. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, you're going back if you want to watch. Love. They were awesome. Yes. We love him. Yeah, thank you. Yes. We're getting gifts. Thank you. It was great. Love spending the evening with you, Jimothy. Jim, you made my week. Glad you made it this year, or glad to make it this year. Appreciate you and love you. Why I watch the channel. Good night, Jimothy. Great stories. Thanks for the party, Jimothy. Okay. Vibe is lifting. Very good. Thank you all for saying kind things. Thank you, Jimothy, and happy unbirthday. It was a pleasure to meet you. Love your stories. We appreciate it. Thank you. Happy birthday, Jimothy. Getting some gifts. Thank you. Happy birthday, Jimothy. Yeah, so see, I would love if you would come back for another live. I know you're enjoying your quiet life and your time with Fanny, and I totally respect that. I think they would all love that too. Maybe like next month or March. Maybe we can see if Fanny wants to talk a little bit. I think Fanny would want to talk a little bit. I have an indication specifically that she would like to talk a little bit because she's doing a lot better. If any of these things, if you want to catch up on anything, do check out the Ghost Kids playlist. I will be posting more Ghost Skits soon. Patrons will get the first part of that. I will be filming and editing them on Sunday, so wish me luck. I'm very excited for that. If you never want to miss any skit again, they are all up on Patreon starting at $5 a month. But anyway, happy getting born day, Jimothy. Would love to see Fanny. Okay, cool. Happy birthday, Jimothy and Fanny together. Oh yes, you have some Ghost Skits to catch up on for sure. Can't really... okay, cool. Yeah, all right, cool. Great. Well, thanks again for joining. Thank you, Jimothy. Thanks for letting me do this on a live and supporting me through it. So, oh wow, there's Catherine. Yes. Cool. So if you don't, I'm just gonna, if you scroll and see officially Catherine on there, you should go follow them because I'm about to end this live. So, thanks for joining. Everybody go see who they are. Yes, because I think tonight's gonna be very exciting for what they're gonna do. So anyhow, happy unbirthday, Jimothy. Thanks everybody for joining. This will be up on YouTube in the next week or so. So if you miss anything, it'll be up there. All right.